What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to recap some trades that I took today on Monday. And let me tell you, the price, look at this. Look at the price real quick on NQ. It was a pretty, look at the opening. It was pretty nasty. And honestly, it's like, kind of predicted this. I kind of thought that it wouldn't be a huge day just because last week was just so crazy. And even Friday was OPEC with FOMC. It's a lot of crazy shit. But, Mondays recently, last few months have been really nice to trade, so still stuck it out and traded it. I took 3 trades, 1 loss, 1 break even, 1 win. Overall break even on the day, traded really small on the day because I knew price was probably going to be choppy. As you can see, when you don't want to trade, you don't want to trade in this. And I did a pretty good job at avoiding it. I'll be honest with you guys, I did a pretty damn good job at avoiding most of this chop. My main thing I was looking for is a closure, a candle closure above this high right here, or if we cross under previous day to go short. So the open, I'm like, either we're gonna close above this 102 area and do something like this and come up to 159, or we're gonna close under and hit the new low, Friday lows potentially. So that's kind of where my ideas were at. The short idea did not present itself. The Friday idea kind of did. So first trade I took was on here. Price popped up, came down. So I took an entry roughly around 10:30. Almost got closed out here. I didn't. Price popped back up. And then, price did stop us out on this candle. Sorry. So there you go, here. Took a long off of this. Stop was this candle. It's looking for one high at the new high today, probably. You want to take one off right there. Price came, stopped us out. Boom. I'm still thinking about that idea because yes, we're still looking somewhat strong. We had a bullish divergence. As soon as we inverse this first 1 minute, said, hey, I'm going to get back in the same idea. Took some profit here the higher day, came back, stopped us out in break even. That's a slight win. Then again, later on the day, I saw this other opportunity. Price went up, took half off at 30 points, which was roughly right here, 30 points, hit for the new high. Came back and stopped us out to break even. Overall break even day, 1 loss, 2 PT1s. Where I take off half and then break even. I didn't feel like these trades were like amazing. Like that's why I was taking 2. And like I talked about this before. I said not all the days are gonna be like the highest setups opportunities, like A plus setups. So like you have to recognize that. And like if I see this like more like a B setup or just like a B plus setup, it's like I'm not going to size in heavy. I'm gonna be trading it relatively small because it's like I know that not every day is gonna be the best day to trade, right? So that because of that, I had to, trade it small, and I'm okay taking 30 points. Like if you look at the range, you gotta know when to let your winners run, when to not let your winners run. And if you look at this range, if we're 70 points on the range, is this gonna keep running? More than likely, it's not gonna keep running. So I'm happy with 30, 40, potentially even 50 points. And because of that, I have to understand that's the market I'm in. Right, we made videos on like when to add to your winners. Some people were like, "Oh, should I add to my winner here?" And I say no. When to add to your winners, when to trade small, when to how to navigate the chop, how to avoid it, and all of that comes from experience and understanding what the market is doing. If the market is ranging, I'm not gonna be sitting here like, "Hey, I'm expecting 200 points, 300 points." Like even if you look at this trade. My first TP was a higher day, which is 35 points, nothing insane, and over here 77 points. Again, nothing insane. And I guess some of that also from looking at the range of the day. If I get in and I'm looking at my range being like a 60-point range, more than likely it's not gonna be a huge day. It's not gonna be a huge day, especially if there's no news, right? If there's no news, you always gotta be like even more careful because whenever you don't have news, what's the price gonna do? Oh, look at that sell by mistake here on that people trading by mistake. I don't know what the hell I did. Anyway, close that. So you have to pick and choose, right? You have to pick and choose. It's going to be hard to predict when those days are going to happen, but whenever they do happen, it's kind of, stay away from the market. Like I've talked about this in the other video. When you want to go heavy, not in days like today, not in days like Friday, again, was kind of a sketchy day with some nice sales. Not in days, you want to go in days like Thursday. Now that was FOMC, so it was a little bit biased. But in days like Tuesday, like these expansion stages is when you want to go heavy in your trades. And if you look at larger time frames, I was not able to do a market recap for Sunday. Where's price at? And I told this at the chat today. I was like, I'm not extremely bullish on the larger time frame unless we close and we do something like this and we kind of fill this at 20,700 or at least 20,600 for the weekly fair value gap. While on ES, if we look at ES, much of the same, right? We have the all-time highs. The all-time highs, which has been the key rejection point today, on Thursday. Close under it. Today, close right under it. But what's being held up is, on the daily fair value gap. That was this resistance point right here, same on NQ, right there. Those are your resistance points. So for me to be bullish in the overall market, I have to either break this, hold it, and go higher. Or for me to be bearish in the market, I have to break below this, retest this, more than likely, and come fill all these larger fair value gaps here. So understand, like, hey, if I'm on the daily, I'm on the weekly, I'm looking at this, I'm like, hey, this is a range. I'm between two zones. That's like, I don't know if it's going to be overall bullish or bearish. What's the likelihood of me of one of these days to be breakout days? You cannot predict that. You don't know when the date's going to be the breakout day that's going to break above or below. So you kind of have to understand where you're on the daily. If you're in the daily range, more likely the intraday is going to be range, right? If you're bullish on the daily, then more than likely the intraday is going to be bullish, right? It's all about looking at the larger time frames and going down to the lower time frames, right? And real quick, I want to show you guys, talk to you guys about a new broker that I've been messing around with. If you trade forex, all you guys tell me, oh, and this all happened because I had somebody DM me that a broker was using my face for marketing. I had to talk to them, right? And then a lot of people were like, oh, are you affiliated with this broker? I'm not. Well, broker I'm affiliated with, the only broker I can recommend you guys that I've spoken to the owner, that I've spoken to the people that work at it, and it's solid on the forex side. You guys know I don't really trade forex, I mostly trade futures and options. I've been kind of playing around with the brokerage just to get familiar with it and make sure it's a good platform. It's going to be Hero FX, and they're currently doing 100% match bonus. That means if you put $100 up to $25,000, I think. If you put $100, they're gonna give you $100. And if I were you, I would trade this to $100 and I would take this back home. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not telling you to do that. But me personally, if I had no money, I would do something like that. So take a look at them. Link will be down below. I've known them for quite some time. So that's the only brokerage, guys. If you trade forex, that's the only brokerage I can give you my word on that I think is this really solid broker. Any other one, I don't know. I'm not affiliated with. Don't fucking ask me about it, right? Like with options, it's going to be Thinkorswim. I'll tell you guys that's the broker I trade with. It's Thinkorswim. But for that, guys, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys had questions. I hope you didn't get chopped up in today's chop. If you did, I know there's going to be some guys out there that's going to be like in the comments saying, oh my God, today was such a good freaking day to trade. Well, I'm happy for you. But overall, if you're not scalping small moves, chops are never going to be the ideal place. The ideal place a trader to take advantage. We need that volatility. We need those movements up and down to try to take advantage of some of the price action. Hope you learned something. Subscribe. I've been making videos. Let me know what you want to cover. Or make some videos today and the rest of the week. And as always, peace out.